Okay, we're good to go. Country's Cocaine Gate. That means I don't even have the quiz, do I? Isn't the quiz in Apelia? Hello?
Say that again?
Isn't the quiz in Apelia homework? It's not actually in I Learned the quiz. Where's the quiz? The real quiz? Because I can't access any of the other stuff.
It must be an I Learned. Yeah, it's an I Learned.
Let's see. Content.
Content lesson 4. And then group quiz.
Oh, this is good. This is good. Because I have access to the PowerPoint I was using before, so it actually was going to give me the stuff I needed, I think. Yo, you back over there?
So how do you say your name? Is it Dallin?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
It's Dallas. Taylor. Dude, you get it?
What?
Oh, you're good, man. You're like all over the place. I'm sorry, dude. That was pretty funny, though. You're just like, I know it's here somewhere.
Yeah, I got my book. There's gotta be somewhere.
I'm sorry, man. That was funny, though. I was like cracking up. You couldn't even hear me. Oh, shoot. Sorry.
No, I'm glad. That's funny.
I think Jessica's looking at me like, what is his problem?
Like, what the freak is he doing this sort of Canadian ritual?
He's doing, I think that's, yeah. Anyway.
That's really funny.
But yeah, Jessica, it's Dallin, and my last name's Jolly. Get that? Isn't that crazy? Who has the last name of Jolly? I got it.
I know a Jolly.
Oh, really? Cool.
I don't know. It was in California.
What was his name?
But he married he married a girl from Peru.
Peru. No, that wouldn't be my cousins that I know of.
Okay.
But cool, man. That's good stuff. You know? Okay.
I'm just pulling it up right now.
Oh, you're good. So last night at like 11 o'clock, I made cupcakes.
Oh.
Yep. I like cooking cupcakes now all of a sudden.
I don't like cake. The only cake I like is carrot cake.
Dude, I'm going to send you some of my cupcakes.
Dude, they're probably not that good. Like,
oh my God. They're the best cupcake you will ever eat. Just ask my wife, dude. She's like impressed with my mean skills.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I do pretty good in the kitchen.
I don't like baking as much, but I'm good at just throwing stuff together and making it taste good.
Oh yeah, I'm just not cleaning the mess up. My problem.
Right, that's my thing. I cook and the other person cleans.
Yeah. My wife's pretty good to me that way. All right. Okay, number one, dude.
Sorry, content group quiz. Got it.
Yep.
Do I go through the same technique, just like everyone?
Go down it.
Just go down it, and then we can compare answers.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Jessica, are you on a time frame again? Yeah. You on a time frame, Jessica?
Say that again? Sorry.
Are you in like a time restraint? Are you like okay with time? Last time I know you had something coming up. You're like, I gotta go soon. So are we good or?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Oh.
All right, now lesson 4. Oh, lesson 4, chapter 9. All right.
Yeah.
Lesson 4, chapter 9. Don't mind me in my book.
Wish I had a book.
International trade. Okay.
Mm-mm. So Guatemala, it should be. Is it A? They're going to export it because they have a comparative advantage. And if you have comparative advantage, isn't that what you want to do?
Well, no, because they have their price is higher than the world price.
So
Which means they don't make it as effectively.
I think it's
without. Sorry.
I think it's D.
yeah, I think so too.
Without the higher world price of coffee, this suggests that other countries have a comparative advantage over. Oh, yeah. Without international trade is higher than the world price. Of course, they'd want to import coffee. Dude, we're talking about Canada? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Represent.
So the main thing really like we're talking about on these first ones are all absolute advantage and comparative advantage, right? So comparative advantage is the one to lower opportunity cost, correct?
Yeah. Exactly. So this is the issue though. I feel like number 2 is A and B. Oh no, it doesn't have absolute advantage. It's definitely A.
Yeah, I did A.
So I guess we're breaking from habit. I guess we're talking about it still.
That's
It's all good.
patterns of trade among nations are primarily determined by
I'm looking through my book for that one. You guys can move on to the next one if you want. Unless you know what it is, Jessica.
For number 2?
3.
For 3, I did comparative advantage.
patterns of
That
trade.
kind of seems to be the trend of the other questions.
Well, because number 1, it says country that has a comparative advantage in a good if it produces the good at lower the cost of their country. Countries can gain from trade if it each exports the goods in which is comparative advantage. So it's pretty much saying that's how the economy works. Countries will really focus on comparative advantage.
Yeah. I just saw something on the book. It said trade among nations is based on comparative advantage.
That's what I want to see. Where'd you see that? What page?
I printed those pages, but it's in the 5th page of the chapter.
Okay.
Because I don't have a print.
1, 2, 3.
Did you order the
5.
book, Jessica, or are you just using the one online?
So I bought it online, but a friend went and picked it up, and I just took the code from it.
Gotcha.
She has the book though. I just printed this stuff.
Gotcha. I should have planned ahead and printed out the book because I knew the access code was going to end, but I thought BYU would get back to me sooner. Literally 3 phone calls and 3 messages later, I'm still hopeless.
Yeah, I can't see what you're talking about, but that's okay.
It's under the 9.1b section.
Oh, 9.1. Okay.
The B part. On the last paragraph.
There we go.
Where it says as in chapter 3.
Yep. Trade among nations is ultimately based on comparative advantage. Excellent. Look at you, Jessica. You're like a little genius.
Oh, boom.
I've been just studying all day. You guys just woke up and you're like pretty good with it.
No, I've been up. I'm just frustrated with the freaking
no
book. Like, I feel like I shouldn't be on the phone call right now. Like, I'm sitting here like it drives me insane. Because
after a country goes from just like trading coffee with other.
Homework's due.
You have to do the homework.
It's due Thursday. It looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you email the professor?
No, I just been working with the bookstore because I feel like the professor's going to say, call the bookstore.
It's fine. Just ask for an extension.
Crazy. Sorry, at any rate, after a country goes from disallowing trading coffee with other countries to allowing trading coffee with other countries, what is this?
I think it'll be equal, right?
I think it's C.
I'll read this for you. So it's a little education. The world price is the price of the good that prevails in the world market for that good. It's pretty much like comparative advantage.
So it's C, right?
Yeah. The world price is always the price that everything else goes to. All right. The before trade domestic price of peaches is $40. World price is 52. The U.S. is a price taker in the market for peaches. This is kind of easy. For sure, they're gonna like export peaches.
Right.
Let's see. A small economy is a price taker in world markets, and actions have no effect on. Not always true, especially for the U.S., but simplifies the analysis without change its lessons. So
Wait, what question are you on?
Oh, I just read my notes in that PowerPoint. Because they would export at that point and sell. Trade.
Here it is. It says the domestic price reflects the opportunity cost of the product. So. What do you think for number 6? I'm good.
Trade results in an increase in total surplus. I don't know if that's.
Oh yeah, not a surplus.
Gain domestic produce from the good.
I think
It's
it's
A.
A.
Yeah, it's A is what I was looking at. Because they both domestic producers or domestic consumers of a good become better off with trade, regardless of whether the nation imports or exports. And that's the whole idea behind comparative advantage, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Hey, I got it right here. So number 1, when a country allows trade and becomes an exporter of a good, domestic producers are the good are better off, and domestic consumers of the good are better off.
Worse off.
Are worse off. Thank you. Wow, you are good.
So it cannot be B.
And now it says trade raises the economic well-being of a nation in the sense that the gains of the winners exceed the losses of the losers. Oh.
Okay.
So which one do you think is
A?
Yeah.
I think it is. What do you think it is, Taylor?
Well, no, I don't think it can be because it says both domestic producers and consumers are better off, and it's saying it's not.
It said it wasn't?
Yeah, it says domestic consumers of the good are worse off.
So D.
Oh, it's definitely B. It's definitely B.
They say they exceed the loss of domestic consumers, so that means the consumers are worse off. Domestic consumers be worse off in that point.
Yeah, it's B.
From what you read, that makes sense if you look at the loss of domestic consumer good.
But B is only when it exports.
B is what, Jessica? What is it?
When it exports. When it imports, it's the opposite. The consumers win and the producers lose. But on the export thing, it's just like B. But only when it exports.
Exporting country. Look at. Okay, so this is, yeah, that's right. So I read that. That was from exports. That's what you were saying. When it says imports, it's when a country allows trade and becomes an importer of a good, domestic consumers of the good are better off, and domestic producers of the good are worse off. It says trade raises the economic well-being of the nation in the sense that the gains of the winners exceed the losses of the losers. Same thing. Okay. Yeah, you're right. So it can't be B because that says imports or exports. So A is also true in a broader scheme of things.
Rolling with it.
But what about D, Jessica?
I'm not sure about that one because it depends if it's importing or exporting. Because
I feel like if trade put the downward pressure on the prices of goods, that means like, yeah, because you have more competition, so it's going to down.
But sometimes when the price is lower than the equilibrium one, it means that it's going to go up. Like one of the questions would just be. So maybe it's C.
Interesting. Yeah, because I'm looking here on the graph for exports, and it says sometimes the world price is greater than the equilibrium. And imports, it brings it down. All right, I think maybe just A. I'm liking A the best. Let's do A.
think it's C. Because in the book, do you have
For 6?
there? Yeah.
Okay.
So there is a table over there in the graph on the exporting and importing one. So the total surplus, it always increases. Comparing.
There you are.
Yeah, comparing before trade and after trade. So I think it's key.
And that's why it was my first thought, because yeah, you did that before.
I got
in
the
last
bookstore calling. One sec. Hell, this is down.
I like that, Jessica.
Okay.
All right, 7. This here illustrates the market of tricycles in a country. If this country allows free trade in tricycles, then consumers will gain and producers will lose.
That's perfectly fine. So will the book be shipped then? And then when mine comes back, you'll refund it, of course. The other one. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm making this go to my school email there.
I think it's
that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the lower price.
JOL 07008. 07008 at BYU. $474 Walnut Street. And that's Shelley. Zip code 83274, Idaho. 274. I sure appreciate it. Thank you. Bye. Hallelujah. What number are you guys on?
Number 8. Number 7 was A.
7. How do you read? You mind me going back? If this country allows free trade in tricycles, A, consumers will gain, producers will lose.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm confused on 8, Jessica. What do you think?
I think it's C.
The country allows trade.
Want to explain? I'm kind of lost on this one.
So the A is, of course, a consequence because the price will increase.
Okay.
B is the same thing because the prices will increase, so it's the same thing. And then for D, since it's exporting, the gains of domestic producers will be greater than the losses. So I think it's C.
Yep. There it is.
With trade, producer surplus is
Hey, so where on the graph do we put it at? Like with trade, like at what demand are we trading?
that 14,600, right?
No, but I'm saying with trade, it's going to force it down to this line here, this world price.
So it's where the world price and the supply intersect. So it's a little triangle, 300 units and 8.
Yeah, 300 and 900.
It's just the little triangle. Yeah, so it's 900.
A surplus of 900. Hold on, can you just walk me through that? Like these things always freaking confuse me. I see it here, consumer surplus.
So the little triangle above world price is the producer surplus. That's what we're looking at, right?
Below?
So you have the world price, then you have that little triangle right above it. Is that the producer surplus?
Is the one below it. So it's, you see where the world price line intersects with the supply one?
Mm-hmm.
That little triangle is the one.
Yeah, it's one from 0 and 8 all the way over to 308.
Yeah. Actually, it's from 2 to 8.
2 to 8. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Like, I was just giving coordinates.
So that little
on the
triangle.
y-axis, and then 0 to 300 on that little bit.
And that's the producer surplus.
Then if that's the surplus, how did you get the monetary amount for that?
So multiplying 306, because you do 8 minus 2, you know? So 300 and multiplying with 6 and then divided by 2 because it's a triangle. The surface of the little triangle. And then you get...
Oh, got you.
I want to draw this real quick. That makes sense. Love it.
Without trade, consumer surplus is... So when we look without trade, we go to the equilibrium, right? On 10.
Yeah, and so the triangle just gets bigger. And then consumer surplus is, instead of that upside down triangle, it's the one that's above the line. From 15 to 28.
Correct.
And that's the number we're dealing with now.
And 0 all the way over to 130.
So we take 130 times.
We take the 130 times the 13.
Yep. So 845.
Divide that by 2. So what number is that?
B?
Yeah.
Is it B? Okay.
What trade total surplus in Guatemalan coffee markets amounts to? Holy cow.
With trade.
So with trade, once again, not to confuse myself, we always go to the world price if we say with trade, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have 10, 20, 30.
Okay, so total surplus is the letter is G, the triangle G, right, Jessica?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's all of it though, because it's total, so it has to be the consumer and producer and stuff. So it has to be more than just.
Yeah, it's in the book right here. It's under 9.2 dash A.
A, B, C, D is what it is.
Here, I'll pull off my camera so you can see real quick, Mr. Allen.
You got a book for me? That's nice.
There's our graph,
Um,
and this is the math it gives us. Can you read that at all?
Yeah, no, I see the same thing.
Is it when the price is above or below the equilibrium?
So here it says the change is the total surplus, and it equals D. And in our graph, there's D.
So it should be A, B, C, D, F all added together then is our total surplus?
No, just D.
I think it's A, B, C, and D. Because
Oh, look,
on the
after
table
trade.
it says change, so we have to see after trade.
Oh, we're just saying after trade. Okay, so it's saying D equals the surplus with trade. Got it.
So D, it's only the change, you know the difference.
Correct. Look at that. We're such a good team. I say something that's wrong, and you guys help me understand.
I'm still wrong over here. So A, B, C, D, F should be the surplus, right?
No.
Oh, what? Oh, my heck.
A, B,
So after trade, A, B, C, D.
A, B, C, D, F, G.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Nice.
And we got to add those all to.
Yeah.
Yep, all that.
So I guess if you do one triangle, then that's the total amount because it's going to be a rectangle. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
You tell me when you did the math.
60 times 30, isn't that correct? 18, no. $60.
What is that line? See, that's not very easy on that. It's like 40 point, whatever that is, 0.2. Stupid.
$40.1 or 40, yeah, 40.2. You're right. I'm just going with 40 though. Wait, why'd you put it at 40 though?
Well, it depends how you're doing your triangle.
My triangle goes to the equilibrium.
Why?
Because that's what the book said on the page you showed me, is where you count the total surplus. So I'm just doing what the book told me. Is that not correct?
No, it's right. That means you have to do it separate because you have to include G. So I guess that's just a separate triangle you're going to do.
Yeah, it's a trend.
Yeah.
So if not, I just go clear of the 40. And don't you just times 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 times 40 divided by 2?
Yeah. And then we got to do another little one for A. All about right triangles. You get the answer, Jessica?
1870. Boom, roasted. C.
Correct. Yeah. I got that one too.
Excellent.
She said she just emailed me the passcode, so let's hope she does what she says, huh?
All right.
And let's see, coming up.
Oh wow, more graphs and triangles. This is so fun. When a country moves from free trade to trade and a tariff, consumer surplus, something happens. Oh wow, yours, yep.
Question. When they say free trade, is that referring to which point on the graph again? The equilibrium?
I had the question.
Yeah.
Okay. And the country moves from free trade.
Okay, I'm looking here and it says the effects of the tariff. All right, so this is before the tariff. Hold on. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Wish I could screen share on here. Oh, I can screen share.
Yeah, up on the corner.
Hey, you see?
Yeah.
You see my mouse?
Not so much.
Oh, that's lousy.
Normally you could, I thought, but no mouse.
No mouse. Well, that kind of defeats the purpose. That's a good attempt. No. Oh, hey, haha. Move my mouse. Okay. So it said that before the tariff, the surplus is from here. That's A, B, and then below the tariff, C. That's A, B, F. And then all the way down to here. So all this was before. And then what's the question?
The country moves from free trade to trade. And a tariff, consumer surplus what?
So we're just saying after the tariff? Isn't it after the tariff? Maybe we just lose these two?
Taylor, do you have the book over there?
Yeah.
So under the 9.2 C section.
Yep, that's what I'm looking at.
So on the table under the consumer surplus,
Uh-huh.
Under the change column, I think that's the one, like the first row. C, D, E, F. Because we have to see the change in this question, I think.
A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so what she's saying is that it's just this triangle straight up to here, all the way across. So that is before the tariff, the consumer surplus. But then you're saying after the tariff, it's just these two.
Yeah.
So the change is all this right here. This straight, like, pop, like whatever this is.
Correct. That's what I thought.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Got that down?
Dude, I won't talk about it.
I know, dude, it sucks.
I just wish I could actually read this. The lady just told me she'd send it over to me, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Now, hey, this is a question, Jessica. Why are we going down all the way to this line, this world price domestic demand, when we move? Like, it doesn't say we went to that. It just says that we have a tariff. I don't know.
Because I think we have to go until the demand line curve.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay, so we have to figure out all these little areas. You figure that out yet, or I can do that?
I'm figuring it.
Okay.
8 times 60.
I'm not sure what does the question want, like from trade, free trade to trade, then trade and tariff. You know what I mean?
That's a hard one. Mm-hmm. So the first
576 is what I come up with.
Okay. So our surplus decreases by that much.
So producer surplus does not change, or so producer surplus increases?
It's saying producer surplus increases by this much.
Yeah, I think it's B.
By this much?
By this little guy right here.
So,
yeah.
So it'd be B then.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But dude, I'm with you though, man. I have no clue why that is like that. So I have to try to study more to figure that out.
Huh. Someone once told me Econ 152 is easier than Econ 151. I'm going to say no, it's not. I took Econ 151 twice.
All right.
The nation of...
So it's importing rice and it's sending out steel. Isn't it this one? I don't know, Jessica. What is freaking surplus?
I did A for that one.
Hey.
Because the TV market has to be unchanged because it says nothing dealing with importing or exporting, correct? So they have no reason to say there's been a change.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, I think since it's exporting steel, it means that it's going to produce more.
Correct.
We have a producer surplus higher.
Right, and they're consuming less, like they could spend more time making it. Okay. All right, makes sense.
The dead weight of tariff. Didn't we just do the math on this one just a bit ago? Find out what tariffs took up?
Yeah, it's saying the area D and F shows the fall in total surplus and represents the deadweight loss on a tariff.
And that is the deadweight loss, DNF. So it's B?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I have that on this PowerPoint. Yeah. One thing.
See, it's hard for me because, like, I don't really understand, like, why yet. But I guess maybe, hopefully I will.
Say, to me, it looks like just a bunch of things you have to remember. I mean, this says total surplus on my – all these PowerPoints are just a bunch of, like, this plus this equals this.
Right.
Okay.
Thanks for informing me.
It's literally what it says. It's like 29 slides of it.
Domestic supply, domestic demand.
I'm not sure in this one.
Suppose the government imposes a tariff for $20 per unit. So when we say tariff, we're just talking like a tax, right? That's what it refers to, tariff tax.
Yeah.
Relative to free
tax on goods produced abroad and sold domestically.
Okay. Relative to the free trade outcome, the imposition of the tariff will do what?
Okay, so here's something from the book. It says the change in price affects the behavior of domestic buyers and sellers. Because the tariff raises the price of textiles, I guess that's the example, it reduces the domestic quantity demanded. Because that's the first thing. It reduces quantity demanded. And it raises the domestic quantity supplied.
But, okay, by how much, though?
That doesn't tell you.
Because all of those say decrease and increase on A to B, C, and D.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, every one of them say it. So now we got to do a little bit of math, I guess. Yeah. Oh.
What are you doing? Oh,
Okay. No.
Is that your wife's cat?
Yes.
She brought it inside.
it's so cute.
We get a cat every year for her birthday, and it dies or she kills it in a month.
Wow.
So people are like, oh, you got the same cat? And we're like, yep, same cat. And she takes care of it. She, it's not like it's neglected. It just, cats are hard to live in cities. I grew up in the country, and they do fine, but in the city, they don't.
Our cats do okay, but they stay inside.
Yeah, we only let the cat inside for about 5 minutes, and then it's done.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, hey, so hold on. They would be selling equilibrium, right? So that's at 80 and about 1,200. So if you times it by 20, like 20 more, is that just 20 times 1,200? That's not an answer, I don't think.
Well, I think that might be a route to times 20. It said they both decrease. So if we go back 300. When you Mom.
Hey, Jessica, so are we trying to figure out the consumer surplus, producer, the government revenue, or the total surplus?
I'm not sure.
Right, that's the issue.
Decrease input.
Well, hold on, so say it increased by 20, right? 20 would put it right here. And right here. So that is...
I think it's below the equilibrium because it says the world price is 40.
Oh, I totally didn't read that.
And then it has a tariff of 20, so it's below.
Oh, sick. So here's the world price. And then we jump up 2. And that puts us right here. Is it just that D plus F thing again? The deadweight loss?
Tariff price.
Yeah, I think it is. So hold on, the deadweight loss would be, boom, this little triangle right here. That is 20 times 300 divided by 2. That's totally it.
Did you get it? So
it's 300 units.
Right, but there's some on both sides though. There's the D and the F on both sides, so it's times 2, whatever that is.
Which one was the area you just calculated?
I thought it was. But see, interesting though. We're not trying to find area though, right? We're just trying to find the number of goods.
That changed from adding the tariff.
Right. So you lost this. So that's 300, another 300. So it's 600. Okay, now which one? Decrease imports of the good by 300 and increase domestic product by 600. Increased by 6. No.
Thank you.
Okay, I think it's D. Okay, all right, here, so this is why. So the producer surplus is this thing right here. The freak, where is it? It's like
40.
Yeah, it goes from 40 to 60, right?
Mm-hmm.
40 or 60. 60. Oh crap.
But when you're doing your calculations and figuring, don't you take that line and draw a line from 40 clear over to domestic demand, and then take one from 60 and draw it clear over to domestic demand?
Yeah.
And those are the two lines you draw, right? And then from there, you look inside and you figure out what is the decrease of units of goods.
Because producers increase, but just by how much? And it's weird because it's number of units, not like money. That's all I got. I think we got to move on.
Oh, it is numbers of units. It isn't money. Okay. Well, hold on, dude. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you drew that original line and had it like I drew it out like this. Is that not drawn out correctly? So
Yeah, but then and then you got to draw a line down from 60 down here to 40.
60 down.
And then do that to the other side too.
And 40 where it hits the demand though, right?
Right. So look,
you would be clear over.
I think it's D.
So it'd be 600 units if you count from the equilibrium line over. That's 600 units on both sides.
Okay.
Is what I was going off of. What is that? What you're looking at, Jessica?
Yeah. So actually, I was looking something in the book under the 9.2C section.
That's where I meant.
On the graph.
Yep.
So it says imports without tariff. Do you see that in the graph? So it's from Q1 to Q13 to Q1D.
Okay, I see that.
And then it says the imports with tariff.
Yes.
So we just need to make the difference between the stuff that you just did. So it's D and F, you know what I mean? And
okay, that's what I thought.
We just found the surface of D and then F, and then we just need to add them. And then it's definitely the imports because the book says that.
Okay. Oh, it's intense.
I don't know what it is. It's something. The amount of revenue collected by the government for tariff is.
Government revenue is this box. Boom. So 200 times 1. 200.
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm very sure, sir.
Why don't we use just looking like the triangles that are the dead weight or whatever they call them?
Yeah, that's these two.
Why don't we use those in adding that? Because you can clearly see from world price, it slants up to the tariff price, and you're still getting more units.
Hold up.
Dali, what was your question again?
Why don't we use the dead weights as part as the tariff when it says what was the amount of revenue collected by the government? I feel like the dead weight should be collected because it goes from world price on the domestic demand and it slides up to that plus tariff. But we're still being taxed on those amount of products. So aren't those added in?
So when there's dead weight loss, no one gets it.
No one gets. That's what the dead loss means. The dead weight. Yeah. So then the 1 times 2 that Taylor is referring to would be correct.
Yeah.
200 would be the reason it's 200.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you should be a tutor or something. Do you want to tutor me? What? Here's another question for you. So when you look at, like, I've always been anything under the equilibrium can't even be produced. So I look at this graph and I see, according to this, the equilibrium is at 4 and 300.
Correct.
So the world price all suddenly slammed down to 2 and 500. But it's still in a demand curve. Is that why it's still reachable?
So everything that's below the equilibrium can be produced and demanded at the same time.
Okay.
But the equilibrium is the place where the quantity demanded is equal to the quantity supplied.
True. So if we go above equilibrium, then it can't be done.
It can be done, but it will be more produced, but people will demand less because the price is higher.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
For example, in this case, in the world price, the price is 2 and demanded will be like 500. Is that? Yeah.
Yeah, 2 and 500.
So the quantity demanded is 500, but the quantity supplied will be on only 100 because the price is so low.
Oh, I get this rectangle now.
Gotcha.
I was thinking, like, well, how can the government tax it? It's like, well, the world price never changed. It's just that the government is now taking a piece of it.
Okay.
Now they're just demanding, they're just producing from here, this point to this point. Got it.
Okay. So this is going to be NAFTA 1990. No, what?
I'm trying to look for it in the book. I can't find it.
Me too.
Now we're on the same level with you, Dallin.
Well, I'm still looking for the book, dude. Oh, baby.
Oh, here we go. It founded GATT after World War II in response to the high tariffs imposed during the Great Depression of the 1930s.
There you go. B.
Where did you find that? In the book or?
Yeah, it's in the book. It was later. It was like page. It's 9-3, 9-3E.
Okay.
Infant industry. That's got to be in here too.
That's A. I'm like 94% positive. I'm reading it in front of me. It says a new industry argues for temporary protection until it is mature and can compete for foreign firms.
Yeah, there it is.
So it's A?
It's not B. It's not C.
Yeah, it's
not
A.
D. Yeah. It's A.
Is it this one? I don't know.
Someone just knocked on my door.
Wait, no, dude. The keys.
What do you think, Jessica?
I don't know.
So 19 is what you're looking at. Which of the following arguments of trade restrictions often advanced? Have you guys come up with an answer or a solution?
Maybe
I'm thinking. What do you think, Jessica?
D for the national security.
No, from what I'm reading about, it has something more to do with like. I haven't really read anything about that.
Trade restrictions.
It's saying here, it said only 26% of those polled said free international trade helped, whereas 50% thought it hurt.
I think it hurts. When America has a 15% trade on taxes or a tariff to ship out and no one else has them to ship in, it's BS.
Right. Trade restrictions for national security. I feel it's more like for safety. But no, maybe national security in a sense of like economic security. But then I feel that would be more like a B.
But it could be D very easy. You realize restrictions.
Oh, yeah. Trade restrictions necessary for economic growth.
It's not A, because that's not true. We know that.
Right.
I'm trying to think as far as economic growth.
I think it's not economic growth. I read somewhere.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah. So
Is
I
it?
think it's D. Taylor, maybe you can read in the book because, of course, your English is a lot better than mine. Under the 9.3b about the national security argument.
Okay.
That's why I think it's D.
The other ones are crossed out, so I think you're correct. Looking at those, breaking them down. Jessica, English. What isn't that? You guys, what's the native language then?
Albanian.
How's that sound?
It's like a lot different from all the other languages. It has some Latin language in it. But...
Tell Taylor to read that in your language. That'd be cool.
De Zoe Mjukte Libren.
Oh wow, that sounds like German.
I know, right? Like sometimes people say it's Russian and stuff. But no.
That's cool. That's so cool. Your English is excellent.
No.
Yeah. So my brother, he has a girl from Brazil living with him, and she just knew Portuguese, and her English is caught on, like just going with it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm swayed. I think it's D.
Well, we know it has nothing to do with economical growth because everybody running for president, well, Donald Trump says why it's not good for economical growth. I learned that. It doesn't help us when we have all these taxes and tariffs and restrictions. It's hurt our economy here because people are taking their manufacturing companies to countries that don't have expensive tariffs and restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Darlene, does your hat say "Make America Great Again"?
did anybody else see President Monson give the thumbs up walking out of conference?
No.
Yeah, at the very end, he did the thumb sign to people, just like Trump does. Like, dude, he supports Trump. I can feel it. I'm serious. He did it.
That's awesome.
Economists view the fact that Florida grows oranges.
Okay, got it right here. It says, economists view that the United States as an ongoing experiment that confirms the virtues of free trade. Throughout its history, the United States has allowed unrestricted trade among the states, and the country as a whole has benefited from the specialization that trade allows. Florida grows oranges, Alaska pumps oil, California makes wine, and so on. Americans would not enjoy the high standard of living they would do today if people would consume only the goods and services produced in their own states.
So it's A?
A?
Yes.
Even though to me, confirmation that specialization and absolute advantage works, because isn't that what all those are? Or
yeah, I think that's
style
also
of absolute advantage.
That's also D.
But I think it must be about the comparative advantage.
In order
to trade. Because you specialize on the thing you have comparative advantage on.
So it's interesting. It says the first sentence of the paragraph is economics of the United States as an ongoing experiment that confirms the virtues of free trade.
Yes, it's definitely A.
But then the sentence before the Florida oranges thing, it says the country as a whole has benefited from the specialization that trade allows.
Which page are you in?
That's 9-4. I think it's D. I don't know. I think it's D. They both say it. It says this one at the first sentence of the paragraph, this one the third sentence, and then the question's the fourth sentence. Yeah, but then the closing sentence is the world would similarly benefit from free trade among countries. So it seems like free trade is like the topic of the paragraph. That's so stupid.
Yeah, I think it's free trade. Because the first sentence just like confirms the virtues of the free trade.
Correct.
All right, things to say. Okay, hey, I'll click. Okay.